Hi. Welcome. Hi, everybody. My name is Dean. Welcome to the Dean Blundell Show here at deanblundell.com. Streaming live on Twitch. Go to Twitch TV, twitch.deanblundelltv. Is that right? Well, it's up. It'll be up in a second anyway. It'll be up on an overlay. It's not that big of a deal. I know what an overlay is. That's how we do stuff here. We put stuff on the screen because I fuck it up. Anyway, so yeah, there you go. We're streaming live on Twitch. You can go to YouTube, DeanTube as well on YouTube. I was told that is criminally underserved. So go to YouTube on DeanTube on YouTube, whatever. Just go to YouTube, put in DeanTube. You can follow us there, and we'll stream live for free. For free. Anyway, it is Monday. We got so much shit going on. Like so much shit, and none of it has to do with Canada. So we went down to the United States as we do every single Monday, including a tough Monday for our Boot Crew media partners and brothers down in the city of New Orleans and the great state of Louisiana. They got just fucked yesterday by Hurricane Zeta. Welcome Ross Tivino and Stephen Offner from Boot Crew Media, Pro Saints Talk, Pro Pels Talk. Hey guys, DeanBlundell.com. Nice to see you. Good to see. Like, really, it's honestly good to see you. Because I tweeted you like a couple days ago. I'm like, nothing but love to the Boot Crew Media family. And how'd it go? Who wants to start? Hurricane Zeta just like went right through you. Some of you just got power back. Offner's internet sucks. Tivino's mood hasn't changed in the entire 5-6 months I've known him, but still, I'm sure something happened.
It was, I'll give it a shot. No, yeah, look, it's always crazy with these things. And we have a certain, I won't say a level of comfort, but a familiarity with them. And this one really snuck up on us. A lot of times you've got plenty of room or plenty of time to kind of get yourself together and get wherever you want to go if you don't want to stay for it. We sort of didn't have that luxury for this one. And it, 2 words you never want to hear with a hurricane is rapid intensification. So this one rapidly intensified. And so the morning of, I send my wife and kids, back west to get them out of harm's way. And I stayed. And as you probably know about hurricanes, they have an eye in the middle of them. So you get this like crazy wave of weather, and then you get an eye where there's nothing going on. It's actually pretty clear for about 15 minutes. So first wave comes through. I'm sitting in my living room. I don't lose power. I'm like, this isn't shit. I'm like, we're gonna coast through this thing, man. Like, grab a beer.
This thing's a pussy. This is a pussy. This is a pussy hurricane.
Yeah. So I go outside. There's some branches and stuff down. Nothing crazy. And then the back part of the eye just totally whipped our ass. Just whipped our ass.
Did it really?
Lost power. Oh yeah. And I've got next to my house, there's like a little fence, probably like 4 feet between my house and this fence, and it's just a wind tunnel. Yeah. And so the glass in my kitchen is flexing in and out.
Are you serious?
My house is raised 2 or 3 feet, like most houses. Oh yeah, like most houses in this area, just for flooding and the soil's so bad, they're all raised. You can hear air and leaves and limbs and shit whipping under the house. I'm like, well, this is the end. This is how I go. But no, nonetheless, we maintained. It's always a good hour of struggle.
Does it sound like? But what does that sound
a couple days
like
to get power back?
Because a lot of us in Canada, we don't have the same unfortunate. On the East Coast, I think sometimes to a much lesser extent, because the time that weather system makes its way all across the ocean from Africa, and then hammers you guys for a little bit, or makes its way up from the Gulf of Mexico and fists you guys for a little bit, and makes its way up, through the Midwest and then North Carolina a little bit. Halifax might get like a little bit of a couple of little piss missiles, but nothing major. So what's that sound like to be in that hurricane? What's the closest thing you can describe to that, what you heard yesterday? Again, why are you laughing, Tivino? Are you got something funny you're like, it sounds like,
there's not really. Well, yeah, what I was gonna say is I've always lived in shit houses too, where there's like everything's pretty leaky. And so the closest thing, I've never been in a tornado, but it probably sounds pretty similar to that. It's when you get nervous is when you can hear inside your home all the trees cracking.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of sounds like just sort of like a train coming, and then you like gunshots. So imagine those two things
But
together,
what are the
and that's sort of,
gunshots?
and then there's like rain and
Are the
shit.
are the gunshots
That's
like
like
things hitting your
limbs
house?
and stuff snapping.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a combo, right? So you've got like thunder, you've got limbs hitting your house, you've got like really big limbs that are just snapping
Mm-hmm.
and slamming into fences and stuff. So there's just sort of a lot of noise. It's pretty disconcerting.
Yeah. So, and you're in the house with your
Yeah,
kids
I
and
had
family
I
at this
yeah.
point. You guys are all huddled up, and then Steven is
No,
with his. No, you're not. Oh, good job.
no, I send the wife and kids out of here. I wouldn't want to traumatize my children,
Mhm.
having them sit through thinking our house is about to fucking Wizard of Oz itself out of here somewhere.
It's
Where do you send
no,
them?
but
Where do your hang on just a sec? Where do your wife and kids go? Like where do you like you just go west?
I'm from we're yeah, we're from a little town, Lake Charles. It's like kind of on the Louisiana Texas border. So they go all the way west.
Mm. Okay, I gotcha. And Steven, same thing. I mean, did you have to protect your loved ones? Your can Did you have enough canned goods? Did you lose power? How did you do? Did it freak you out too? Was it sneaky? Hurricane Zeta?
well, I was by myself like Ross was, but I was by myself in my house, and I have a giant oak tree in my front yard. And I mean, I've been waiting. eh, I just think that this thing's gonna fall with every storm. So I was sitting there. I would stick my head out the front door because the wind was actually coming from the back of my house. So it was coming over the back of my house and over the front.
Mm-hmm.
And so I could stand out on my front porch without it being too bad. So I would like go out there and look. But I mean, I have stuff still hanging in my trees. A couple branches that got caught up on the way down, luckily, because they were big. But I wouldn't say luckily now, because I guess I'm gonna have to get somebody to remove them. But yeah, I have branches everywhere,
Mm.
and the same thing with Ross. When I got into the eye of the storm, I still had power also, and I'm going to be honest. I expected the way that the power goes out in my neighborhood. I was expecting it to go out right when the wind started. So the fact that we made it all the way through, I was in the front yard in the eye. Me and my neighbor were just about hugging because we thought that we made it through. And also
Did you board your
at
house
that
up,
time,
Steven? Did you board your
my
house up and shit?
co-host,
Did you like no?
no,
No.
no, I
Oh,
didn't
that's
really
for
board it.
babies.
I have those hurricane strengths. Well, no, I have the windows that I have on the house are rated for hurricanes, and weather like that. So I wasn't too worried about it, and
Can I
also
can I ask one
standing
more
by them.
question? Can I
So,
ask one more question here?
but
Do you guys have
yeah.
can you get hurricane insurance in New Orleans? Yes, no.
I know you can get flood insurance. I believe that it's going to be, and the homeowners insurance probably covers that, but
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. Ross would know living out in Lakeview better than me.
Yeah, you get it's a combo of the two. So you have to get flood. I mean, if you live in Louisiana and don't have flood insurance, you're a dumbass anyway.
But
Yeah.
isn't it?
And
It's
then yeah,
like
everything
five
else is rolled
hundred
up into your
thousand
homeowner.
dollars a year though. The premium. It's like $500,000 a year just for
It's
the
not.
fucking insurance.
Yeah, it depends on where you're at. If you flooded before, they stick it in you pretty good.
Yeah. No
Well, I know
shit.
you probably got a lot more than me out in Lakeview, out in that area. I mean, I'm in River Ridge. They call it River Ridge because it's actually 8 feet above sea level.
Oh, you
It's one of the highest points in the
lucky
city.
dog.
So
Yeah.
yeah, kind of lucky there. But it was funny because when I still had power, and my buddy Pat that I do pro Saints talk with, he gave me a call and he asked me if I still had power. And I said yes. And so I was like, come on over. I think we're through the worst of it. We're in the eye right now. So he drives over in the middle of the eye, and I'm not shitting you. He walks into my house. He walks into the kitchen. He grabs a drink. And as soon as he walked back into the living room, the power went out, shuts off. And I looked at him and I said, get the fuck out of my house right now. Like, you fucking leave and go home.
You got a Jenny?
But
Do you guys
yeah,
got
so
Jennies down there?
that's actually when we left.
Do you guys have
I have
Jennies?
one.
Yeah.
I have a generator. I do.
Oh,
You do? You do? Yeah, of course you
yeah, I
Ross,
don't
do
have
you have
one.
one?
Yeah.
Most people. I don't have one in New Orleans. No, we always had one back home, but
Mhm.
no.
Yeah.
Should
It's
probably
worth
get one.
every
penny.
penny.
Yeah, I'll tell you the worst part. Honestly, the worst part for me was, so I stayed a couple days after with no with no power, obviously, and it wasn't bad the first night. Weather got we got lucky. The weather dropped into like the 60s, so it was pretty pleasant. The second night, I'm laying in bed. There's no power or anything, and we dropped down to the 50s in this leaky old house. I wake up in the middle of the night. My hands are white, my face is white. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm freezing here. So after that, I said, all right, this is enough. I'm walking around in like a Snuggie with blankets all around me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
But you made it through, and no major damage to your
It
house.
wasn't.
Like
It
you
wasn't
guys
that
didn't
bad.
have any nothing major. A couple shingles, maybe missing a couple shingles. That's pretty much it. You get a couple shingles.
Yeah, luckily nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing over here. Like I said, I went out the next day and cleaned up all the branches in my yard and stacked them up. And other than that, we were good.
Well,
Thank
good.
God. I mean,
Good.
like I said, the wind made it sound like something was going to be fucked up. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And now our guests today, Stephen Offner and Ross Tivino from Boot Crew Media, Pro Saints Talk, Pro Pels Talk. We got lots of Saints and Pels stuff to get to because the Pelicans got Stan Van Gundy made me laugh my ass off. And then the Saints won in a thriller yesterday, which made you guys happy. And I was happy for you because you were going through some shit yesterday. You were in the shit, as they say. So a Saints win is a great win. And I want to get to that in a second. But more importantly, I want to. You guys, have you voted yet? Is this election seems to be fairly popular? It seems to be a bit of a big deal around the world. Have you early voted? Let's start with Stephen Offner. How you doing? When are you going to the polls? Have you gone? What's up?
I'm going tomorrow.
Yeah.
I am going to go tomorrow. I'm still registered. I'm not actually registered where I live because it's a temporary thing. So where I'm actually registered, it's a very small kind of spot. So I didn't have to go to do the early voting. I just think I'll be able to walk right in and cast a ballot tomorrow. So I'm gonna head over there, sometime in the afternoon and do my civic duty.
Good.
And hopefully help out with some stuff around here. I don't fucking know. We're fucked. I just that's the way I feel. It's a big lose-lose situation. So I don't know.
Why? What do you mean?
I hate to say I'm going for the.
Explain lose-lose situation, because I was having a conversation with someone today, and I got a lot of faith in you guys, by the way. I love my American friends, and I'm not just saying that because we do a lot of business with my American friends, and you guys are in America, but I believe the best in America. I really do, and I think you're going to see it over the next, 24 to 48 hours, but I think you're going to see some shit, too. I think things are going to get a little fucking gnarly. And case in point, today I'm watching the news, and it was just, it's a lie, I wasn't watching the news. Do you like how I say news? That's how I was taught in broadcast school, say news.
News.
Yes, it's not news. That's for lazy people. It's news. I'm like, go fuck yourself.
You gotta have that broadcaster voice.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. Anyway, but there's a lot riding on the next couple of days and the outcome. And I was tuned in. You're seeing people board up in Washington. You're seeing lots of shenanigans, and I don't want to get into it because we talk about sports and shit like that. But how fucking excited are you guys that they're putting up a massive wall around the White House right now?
It's weird fucking times, man. Weird fucking times. I mean, either way, I think it's a good move. Nobody knows what the fuck's going to happen. People are going to lose their minds no matter what happens. And we're also not going to know. I don't see us knowing who wins this election for at least a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks. I mean, you got all of these mail-in ballots they're going to have to go through. And I'm sure there's going to be some type of fucking one side contesting the votes or another side contesting the votes. I don't see this being over this week or even tomorrow. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, I know that they like to punch it up like every election and be like, oh, this is probably the most important election of all time. I think this may be it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they got a lot of stuff on it too. They got what is it, the abortion bill on it now, where it's like no exceptions whatsoever. That's absolutely ridiculous. They got that. Obviously, the sports gambling thing we're going to get into. Hopefully we can get that passed, but down here. But Jesus, man,
Mm-hmm.
Dean,
I don't know.
Yeah. Neither do we. That's just
Dean,
why I ask.
you
Yes,
brought the
Russ.
selection up. No, I just can't help but thinking about this. Ever since you brought this up, given one of our candidates obviously is somewhat known for his hair, and as I look at yours, I can't stop thinking about how great your hair looks, man. Wait, are you doing something?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm glad you asked. Actually, I don't know if you can zoom in on this bitch, but this is what I call.
I'm trying to. I'm putting my face
broadcast.
close to the
This is
screen.
called broadcast flow, and I'm glad you asked. So you said, what color is it? And I saw some pictures of me this weekend because we did this like massive fucking watch party with our friends over at Owner's Box. By the way, the podcast brought to you by Owner's Box, Weekly Fantasy Sports, the premier weekly fantasy sports podcast, platform on the planet. They've got podcasts too called In the Box. Go get it on YouTube. It's really fucking good. So we spent the weekend there with these guys. And we're doing some work with them. So we're creating content. We're hanging out. We're watching videos. And I'm trying to get out of the content because these guys are like, they're all in their mid-20s, right? And we got Sean was there, our producer, who's behind the camera right now. And I leave. I go into one of the other offices at Owner's Box, the fantasy place down in Kitchener, Ontario, and I see the stream of it, and I'm like, who's the fucking old guy in the middle of the shot? Who's that? Who's in the middle of my fucking shot? Who's the old guy?
It's you.
Tough.
And
tough reality.
And that was like, honest to God, Sean, how long was I gone for? I just went and had the meetings because I had to have meetings yesterday. So I went and had meetings and caught up on a couple of work things. So how long was I gone for after that? Hour and a half, 2 hours? Yeah, 1 hour. I left for a fucking hour. And then I came back in and I left again because I'm like, get out of the shot, old guy. Get out of the fucking shot. And it had something to do with my hair. And it was the very first time I've ever fucking looked at my hair. Like, not to mention my chin, which is like fucking Arctic white. But like, I always thought I was Arctic blonde. I thought that was how I looked on. I thought, well, you still look pretty blonde because that's how I fucking grew up. I was always kind of fair haired but this first fucking time I saw my hair and I thought to myself, get a fucking haircut right now. You look ridiculous. And the other thing I thought was, who's the fucking old guy? And fellas, it was me. And I have no ego. Like, my ego is gone. And so I'm capable of actually saying that. It's like when it's like when a bigger guy's like front view, side view, and I look at myself, and I would look at myself like when I was a little bit larger, and I would go, front view, not bad. Side view, fucking terrible. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, I know that.
I got to make.
I definitely know what that means.
Yeah, front view, side view, like fuck. And you're like, if I could only get people to look at me straight on all the time, I fucking have it all made out, right? I got it all figured out. So anyway, that was my point. I thought it was Arctic Blonde, but fellas, you know what I got going here? I got great radio do, or broadcast podcast do, and it's great. And I fucking for the first time, and I'm not gonna color it. Fuck that. But I am shaving this. This is gone. I'm getting rid of this to like today because I realize how fucking old.
Yeah?
Yeah, dude.
I tell you what, it looks good. You got a nice coif going there.
Like,
here's a little trick. Look, listen. What I do is, I use some lotion. Like, I'll put some lotion on my hands in the morning, right?
Yeah, I bet you do.
And it's vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin C.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also you put it in your beard, and then you swipe it through your hair a little bit. And it gives you that look kind of there. It gives you a little sheen. It looks nice.
I got to tell you.
It's just regular hand lotion.
I know.
You'd be surprised.
I've got the same thing. I've got some regular hand lotion. I thought it was an Aveda product, but I'm pretty sure it's not. I think I got an Aveda product somewhere else that I use for my hair. But always when I have excess lotion on my hands and I'm like, I don't want to jizz all over myself, I'll put it through my hair because it's like a little extra hold. It's a hack.
Yeah.
It's a fucking dude hack is what that is. But
yeah, I learned about that.
This concerns me.
This is not gonna sound good. The guy that was on Glee, remember that show? He was on he was on some talk show.
The dead guy?
The teacher. No, not the dead guy. The teacher, like the older guy.
Why is Ross?
He was on something like Jimmy
Ross,
Fallon or something.
Why are you shaking your head, Ross? You're shaking your head because I said the dead guy. Corey Monteith is dead.
No, I thought he was talking. I thought he was talking about the dead guy.
Oh.
No.
I think I really know. I thought the teacher was a guy. I thought the teacher was a female.
No, the
No,
headmaster was
it's
a
the-
female,
it's-
and the other guy's name is Matthew in real life.
That's
all
what
I
I'm
know.
thinking of.
Yeah. Okay, so what about him?
Yeah,
Go
that
ahead.
guy. Yeah, he was on like Jimmy Fallon. Yeah, he was on like Jimmy Fallon or something, and he was the one that said that he would style his hair and do stuff with just hand lotion.
Mhm.
I was like, what the fuck? And I got it, and sure enough, works like a charm.
Absolutely, it does. You get a little bit of hold in there too. It's not that big of a deal. I'm not that worried about it.
Yeah.
But I back to the election part of it, because that's where we jumped off, because you were like talking about my hair, Ross, likening it back to Donald Trump's hair, and you're talking about one candidate in the election. What's your feel? What's your feel as American voters? Which way are we going? Are we going full Germany 1930 to 1945, or are we going to roll the clock back to a little more sanity, do you think? How are we feeling?
I wish I knew.
Well, given that I'm a gambling man, the latest numbers I believe have Sleepy Joe Biden as a 10-point favorite over the Donald. For whatever that's worth, I'm going to keep my money out of this election. But as a gambling man, I do follow the numbers, and that's what they're saying as of late. Yesterday evening. Now, I think whenever Stephen Offner strolls into his poll booth tomorrow, all bets are off.
Mm-hmm.
Never know, I'm a wild card.
Wild card. That's gonna
shit.
You're listening.
Kanye and birthday party.
Stephen Offner. Yeah, Stephen
May
Offner
write
and
myself
Antelope
in.
behind him
Fuck
in the
it.
shot there
Yeah.
are going to be the swing vote to change everything.
Can you?
Is that an antelope?
Do you guys hear? Here's a question.
I have no clue.
Before we get to the Saints, and the Pelicans, and their weird week, do you guys know anybody? Because you've got lots of friends, you got friend groups. Obviously, you got friends with different opinions. But do you know anybody who's undecided at this point? Like, do you know
No.
anybody that's gone?
No.
I don't think.
Not that kind of
Like,
election.
do you have anybody that's going like this?
Yeah.
Anybody that's going, I really want to hear more about what's on Hunter Biden's laptop before I make a decision.
No, Jesus Christ. First of all, I also love how that just kind of like went away.
Yeah.
Like nobody's talking about that anymore. But that's like, yeah, of course. I think everybody knows firmly who they're voting for, and they've been knowing that for a long time. That's why, like, with this whole thing with the debates and everything, I was like, why are we even having these debates? Everyone knows who they're voting for already. All of these are going to do. After every debate, it would just be this. The narrative is the Republicans would say, oh, our side won, and the Democrats would say, our side won. It's been the same thing, even in the last election with Hillary and Trump. It's nothing that they're doing is helping sway one person one way or another. I think everybody knows exactly who they're voting for, and they have been for months.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you. By the way, Canada's with you. Canada is 100% behind, and I can say that as a proud Canadian, dual citizen actually of two countries, England and Canada. But as a proud Canadian, as someone who's sworn an oath to protect and uphold the values of this country, fuck, I hope you guys get this one right. Fuck, I hope you guys nail it, because it's like living on top of a fucking meth lab. That's what it's like. It for all Canadians. It
stinks.
Yeah, it's like when you drive a car.
That's
aggressive.
That's a pretty aggressive.
It is.
I don't know if I can co-sign that one.
Well, you don't have to, because you're not living above the fucking meth lab. You guys are boiled frogs. I'm convinced.
That's right.
So many fucking people.
I'm living in it. You're saying.
Go ahead. You're living in it. What? Sorry, Ross. I cut you off.
No, I would just say I wouldn't refer to, while slightly, I would refer to it more as unstable rather than a meth lab is taking it pretty.
Dude.
That's an aggressive.
Dude,
you ever seen a meth lab?
Yeah, I have, and I want to say.
Have you?
I don't think he has. I don't think he's
not the inside of one. Not the inside of one.
Let me just,
I've only seen them after they've blown up.
Let me just point out, your passport's virtually worthless for the first time in your country's history. So meth lab's a pretty good. You can't come into Canada, and you're great guys. I want you to come into Canada. So meth lab's I think it's too nice, to be honest with you.
You think
I
they
think
turned me
it's-
down? You think they turned me down at the border?
They for sure would. You're not allowed to come in,
Yes.
dude. You are not allowed to come into Canada. Like if you came through the border and you're like, "Hey guys, I got the cure for eczema," and you had it in your
And
trunk,
what do you think
they would
the
look at you and they
reasoning?
would go like this.
Well,
They would go, you know what? That's nice that you're really a good guy and you got the cure for eczema in your trunk. And I'm sure there's a lot of itchy people up here in Canada that would appreciate it, but we don't know where you've been, and COVID is fucking rampant. So there's no fucking way we're allowing you in this country. It's a rule. It's a closed border. Like
Yeah.
and that's
No, that's
why.
interesting.
It's too bad.
I'm not. Yeah, well, that's. I'm not totally arguing there. But I find it interesting that so you're saying the reason they wouldn't let me in is because of COVID, which is pretty much rampant in most parts of the country, right? Did I think what France or who just a couple of European countries just went back into what a full lockdown, right?
Yeah, England and
France did,
France.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So it's tough for me. That's a lot of this. I don't know. A lot of this is silliness. It's like a lot of things are being cast on the United States as being some kind of like call it a meth lab if you want, but the same things are happening all over the world. So agree with the politics or don't agree with them.
Totally, but you just got. I think the kindling is you throwing the president into the mix. I think that would be like listen. I love, like I said, love America. I'm just telling you the general feeling that's up here. It's like, fuck, we sure hope you guys nail this one because we really like you. That's where I'm at. That's all I'm saying. No need to get political.
I hear you. I don't. No, I'm not. I find a lot of it real. I'm not a political person at all. I just find some of the notions to be funny that things would be totally. I don't think they would be really much different from a coronavirus perspective if Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, Dean Blundell, or Joe Biden was the president when this whole thing happened.
Do you think my chances?
A lot of places handled it different. We should. I can. You want me to write you in tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you fucking do that.
Yeah,
you motherfucker.
I want one.
You want to get a write in?
Yeah, I do. I want to write in. Yeah. Write me in.
You're going to Kanye this? Oh, God.
No, don't vote
What if
for
you ended
me.
up with what would be interesting is, what if you end up with 12 votes or something? Then it would be sitting here and it's like, who the hell are the other 11 people that voted?
Well, and I don't want to fuck up the election.
That would
like, what if it's literally down to those 12 votes and I got all 12 of them and everybody's like, who the fuck is this guy? And everybody turns around and looks at you and it's pitchforks, dude. They're coming for you guys. I just will never be allowed in the country again. Speaking of craziness, I do want to get into it real quick. Ross Thibodeau, Stephen Hoffner, nice little break. You guys, of course, had the Saints Bears yesterday. Big Dick Nick Foles did his best, to look like he was a really good quarterback again yesterday. Him and Ryan Fitzpatrick seem to be able to do that every few years, or every year for a few games. But Saints win yesterday. Pelicans get a new head coach, which made me laugh my ass off. Where do you guys want to start? Because we've got the Pro Pels, Pro Saints guys here. So you tell me where you want to start.
How about
what?
I'll start. Let's do the Pelicans first, because then we can get into. I have Justin obviously wants me to talk about his picks. 2 and 3 again, but Pelicans hire Stan Van Gundy. We'll start there. Okay, I was not a huge fan of the hire at first, but I'm actually coming around to it. Look, if you dig into Van Gundy's record, the teams he's coached, the way they've put teams together around what he likes to do, I actually think he could end up being a decent fit down here. And not to mention, I mean, he's gold. He's like almost like Greg Popovich in terms of just the stuff that he's going to say that you can talk about is great. Yeah. He's an entertaining guy. The last thing I would have wanted was just one of these like boring X's and O's guy. At least Van Gundy's got a personality. So I'm actually excited about that. He's a pretty good coach. I wish we had gotten somebody a hair younger, but at least we got an entertaining guy.
Offner?
I mean, I was also in the same boat as Ross at first. I didn't like it at first, but then I started thinking that his kind of like hard-nosed, no bullshit kind of thing is maybe what this team needs. It's full of young guys, and from the stories and the nightmares that we heard that were from the NBA, from the bubble, with the way that they were handling Zion, and they're saying that it's just, I think he's going to hold these players accountable, which was a big thing that we always talk
What
about.
was the big?
Was talking about
What was the big mess? Sorry, what was the big mess with Zion? Like, what was the issue with him in the bubble?
He's
other
out of
than
shape.
The fact he shouldn't have been there and he's a little overweight. Is that it?
Well, he's out of shape, and it just doesn't seem like they're putting the right people around him to make him work as hard as he should be. He's a number 1 overall pick in the draft. He's, consensus, next best thing since LeBron right out the gate. So, I mean, it just seems like it's not being taken as seriously as it should be. And I understand he's still 19, 20 years old. He's still a kid, but I mean, you just at some point, you got to realize it's like, all right, now it's time to get to work. And it just doesn't seem like he's done that. And Gentry was a big players coach, and I get that, but it just didn't seem like it was the right fit for these guys. And hopefully Van Gundy is the guy to kind of put everybody in check and get this going in the right direction.
Hey, question, do you guys get any Lonzo Ball dad sightings? Do you get any LeVar Ball sightings down in New Orleans?
LeVar does not make his way down here much, which is unfortunate because I was really looking forward to more juice from LeVar. But I think whenever him and Lonzo had a little bit of like falling out, and I think Lonzo pulled whatever. I don't know if he was partnered with the Big Baller brand in some way, and he kind of pulled that. And so I don't know if they're like that whole thing sort of crumbled really quickly.
Yeah. Did it ever? And fucking glad it did. You never heard from LeVar, and LeVar's so fucking overbearing. I was shocked that he didn't get involved, and I know him and his dad had a falling out, but it's kind of a weird situation down there, right? Too, with AD winning this year, which is okay. Fuck, at least that's over for the Pelicans. They can focus on fucking moving forward. But I got a kick out of everybody salivating. Did you see this picture of Zion? From about a month ago after he worked out. Did you see? There's a picture of him. We'll try and get it. And if we don't get it, I'll send it to you. Dude is so jacked right now. It is unbelievable. Like,
hold on.
Super fucking jacked.
Hold on.
Super jacked. And I don't know if he ate himself out of that already.
Is it the picture of him? Is it the picture of him in this sweatshirt with no sleeves in the gym? Because if it is, that's from earlier in the year.
It's a picture of him.
Oh, okay, so it is a different one?
Yeah, it's a picture of him. See if we can find it. I want to find it because he looks so fucking jacked. I was like, Jesus Christ. If he's in this kind of shape when the season starts, he will be scary because he scares me already. He's that powerful. Well, he's that big, and he's that explosive, and he's that fucking talented, and he's that aggressive.
But we got tricked before. I'm telling you, there was a picture going out there before that we thought that Zion was coming back in shape, and he looked just like he did before the bubble happened. So I'm a little worried about that one. But
I'm going to find it. I swear to God, he looked unbelievable. Zion Williamson looked like sort of like me.
Oh,
white?
That's comforting.
Yeah,
that gets me excited about the season. Sure.
Zion Williamson in shape. Okay, in shape. I
don't know.
In shape. Here, hang on. I'm gonna get it right now. I gotta. Looks like he's in incredible shape. This is from last July. Looks incredible. It says he's what? It says he's focused for a restart. Pelicans rookie Zion Williamson credits his mother's wisdom in helping him manage life's unexpected twists and turns. Thanks, Mom. Served the NBA's top overall pick. Said he's got in fucking great shape. It is the one with the hoodie. Yes, it is. You're right. You're absolutely correct, Offner. Why? What's the deal with that picture?
That was trickeration.
Is that fake
news?
That was
trickeration.
That was the trickery.
That was fake news.
Oh
that was a lot of fake news.
So he's not in good
We got
shape?
tricked too. I remember it.
Well, I don't. That's like 6 months ago. You gotta you need to get an update on your news cycle.
Yeah, no, I know that was 6 months ago. News: Zion Williamson in shape.
He was a little doughy.
This is from 3 weeks ago. New Orleans Pelicans. Williamson looks slim, happy in Men's Health. He was in Men's Health, dude. Look at him. Yeah.
Oh, that Crockett shit.
What?
You know they've airbrushed the shit out of him in there.
Oh, how do you fucking know, dude? All you have to do is Google Zion Williamson in shape, and you're gonna be able to find it. I just found like 2 pictures of him. He looks pretty fat though.
We'll see.
Is he?
We're all very cautiously optimistic that he's gonna lay off the cheeseburgers and come in and shave.
Is that
but we'll
his
see.
deal?
Well,
is
the
he,
good
is
thing
he a
is
big
that he
eater?
may
Is he
not
like a
have.
snacky guy? Like, what's his deal? Is he? Is there a rumor on his food habits?
We heard
I
about
think,
cheeseburgers.
yeah, we heard about cheeseburgers.
We heard about cheeseburgers.
We heard that post game cheeseburgers were to blame for a little bit of his weight issues this year, but
Are you
I mean,
serious? It's fucking
now they make
cheeseburger.
those
yeah, seriously.
now they make those what is it called? Not better than not beef,
Beyond Meat.
whatever the thing is. Remember the
Incognito.
Beyond Meat.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Oh,
Beyond
yeah.
Beef or Beyond Meat or something. Their stock went crazy. Like, you want to get him some of those. Those probably taste fine. I mean, I'm not eating the shit, but those probably taste fine.
There's no
delicious.
way. I refuse to believe that stuff tastes good.
No, it
Bullshit.
tastes, dude.
We need to get a
delicious.
taste test going or something.
I've had up here in Canada. We got this chain called A&W. You don't have it down there, do you? A&W serves like really good burgers, and they serve
A&W. Wow, we used to a long time ago.
Yeah, drive.
Yeah, we know about A&W.
No, dude. So they have this Beyond Meat burger, and I can't tell the fucking difference. And I don't even know if it's that much healthier for you. I think you just feel better spending like $10 on a sandwich because you're like, fuck. At least I saved a couple cows from farting into the atmosphere today. That was my deal. Like that's why people buy it.
There's still bread and cheese and fucking
like,
mayonnaise
all
all over
shit.
it. There's all kind of shit.
Yeah, and you look at the salt content too of that stuff. And listen, I'd be happy to be wrong, but I don't think there's a massive difference between like a lean ground beef burger and a Beyond Meat burger. So maybe it's just the amount of burgers Zion's eating. Maybe it's just like what he's putting in them. And,
we got to get a
Burger's
Beyond Meat
friends.
rep in here. I think we just blew our chance to get Beyond Meat on as a potential sponsor.
Well, I saved
on
it.
the
I pulled it
Blundell
back.
Network.
I thought I pulled it back when I was like, hey, listen, it's not. There's no difference, but it's just better because the cows don't fart, right? You're saving the methane.
True.
So you can feel good about it. Like I just don't know that it's a whole bunch.
I feel like
Sean, can you bring up the difference between Beyond Meat, the nutritional value between meat and Beyond Meat? And we'll put this on the screen. It's an interesting, this is for Zion. We could be wrong. We'll do this fucking thing together for you guys. Beyond Meat versus beef. Yeah. Beyond Meat versus beef. Let's have a look. The addition of coconut oil gives Beyond.
I mean, I guess I wonder if you can just look up the.
Yeah, there you go. No, go to the nutritional
There
value.
it is. Is that the Beyond Whopper?
Down at the the Beyond Burger. It's called. Can you put that on the screen so we can all see it? Because this is like this is a good study for people. This is really good for people to see. It is better for you. I will say that. As you can see, some pretty big numbers because there's no saturated fats and all that other kind of stuff, right? But at the same time, this is for Zion. We're not doing it for us. I'm doing it for you guys.
It's for the greater good. It's for the greater good.
Mm-hmm. I really believe that.
Yeah, I mean, what was that? The Impossible Whopper? Is that what they had at Burger King for a while there? That kind of fizzled out. I haven't seen that.
Okay,
making too much of a splash lately.
I haven't either, but here you go. Can you see this? Let's have a look. This is what they're touting. The beef burger. 99% less water goes into the Beyond Burger. 93% less land is used to make that burger. It takes 90% fewer greenhouse gas emissions. The farts, cow farts. It's farts. It's always farts. I swear to God. Every time it comes back to this thing and they lose like a nutritional value discussion, it's like it's farts. It's cow farts. It's killing the world. It is. And it takes 46% less energy to produce that burger. So that's the selling point, boys. So
but that's,
Zion wants to be a
that's
good
not
guy,
none of those are
that, but it's not going to help him. You might as well just stay with the fucking beef.
Yeah, that's not going to do anything.
No.
Yeah, that's like an environmental thing. Like if Zion wants to go green, that's all fabulous, but that may not necessarily help him shave the poundage he's looking for.
No, got a kick this weekend out of the Saints. We've got the pro Saints guys on Steven Offner, Ross Tivino from Boo Crew Media at Pro Saints Talk as well. I got to ask you because it was a close one. It was another close game, overtime. Win it with a leg from Lutz. I took Lutz in both of my owners box pools, both my 4-man and my 8-man. Got absolutely crushed, but at least he delivered a little bit. Had to take him. I had to take him because it was outside and it was against the Bears, and I'm like, fuck, it's not going to be all. It's going to be like a field goal fest. That's all it's going to be. Turns out that was the case. How we feeling? Like after the hurricane, everybody, were you a little nervous? Did you get your cable back in time? You guys all right today?
Yeah. I mean, luckily I got mine back Friday night, I believe it was when we got it back. But yeah, we got to watch the game. I was a little nervous going into it because it was our first game outside this year. We played all games inside in domes. Drew has been historically not Drew in
Hey,
those
did you
outside and cold games. What?
I first off totally agree with what you're about to say, but did you see the stat they put up early in the thing that apparently we're like 12-1 in our last like 13 outdoor games or something? I would have put a crazy amount of money that stat was like that was a bullshit stat. But apparently that's not a true thing.
No. It's more of outside and the cold. As long as it's cold. Is that what they brought up too?
Oh, no, it was just games outdoors.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, but they were just talking about how it's going to be their first game outside this year. And, especially when it's cold, Drew is not who he usually is out there. But, I mean, the game went a lot worse than what I thought it would. Their defense is a lot better than what I expected, especially in that game.
Cam Jordan's
but
name a lot yesterday.
their offense
I watched
with,
about two and a half quarters.
thank God.
Cam Jordan showed up in a big bad way yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, about time, man. Yeah, he made a couple good plays yesterday. He's been pretty silent this year. I think he had 1.5 sacks going into the game. But yeah, their defense is really good. Their offense was shit. We knew that going in. We got lucky. We really did. I don't think we should have won that game. And in fact, in the in overtime, when we gave them the ball back with I think it was like 4 minutes left, I was walking around my house saying, that's it. We lost the game right there. I figured that they could string together enough plays to get them in field goal range.
You're one of those like shitty like fans that has to leave the room when you get the football until you get the football back. Like with like 4 minutes left in the game.
No, but
are
I'll
you one of
definitely pace
do you
around
shit
the
mouth
room.
your team when your team's down all the time? Are you one of those guys? Ross, is he one of those guys? Because you're like imminently disagreeing with him, vehemently. Disagreeing with him and laughing at everything he says right now.
Why?
Because no one is ever satisfied. Like I don't understand the Saints fans, including I feel like our pro Saints guys. Like no one is just ever satisfied. Like we're 5-2. We went on the road. It was cold as shit. It was windy as shit. Our quarterback's hands are like he has like what was that? Was that Burt Whopper hands? You remember those commercials where you could like barely hold the Whopper?
The little hands.
Like we got like a small
John Elway disease.
And we go up there and we beat. Yeah, and we go up there. We beat one of the better teams in the league, or at least one of the better defenses in the league. And we're sitting here at 5-2. It's like what are we going to complain about now? With a bunch of first off, and I can't even name any of our receivers. We played with all of our receivers are either hurt, got the COVID, punching people, doing whatever the hell they do. I mean, we go up there, we win another game, yawn. We did. Wasn't that insane? Did you see that, Dean?
No. The fight?
Oh, you didn't see the boxing match?
Oh no, yes, I did. I did see the fight, and it was a dude from the Bears, and you're gonna have to forgive me, but like he punched, and what an awful job punching, just a
total sucker punch. Yeah,
sucker punch. Did everybody get kicked out at that point, or did the one guy that climbed on the top of the Bears guy jumped over his back, which I thought was great. That was a great little scuffle.
Well, no, actually, it was just the guy wins that because he did it right in front of 2 referees. Like they saw the whole thing.
What was it?
So he's the only one that got ejected actually. But so apparently earlier in the game, CD Deuce or Chauncey Gardner Johnson, whatever he's going by these days, he ran up to Wims after a play and ripped his mouthpiece off of his face mask, kind of like shit talking him. So then a couple plays later, when they were lined up on the outside, he ran over to CD and ripped his mouthpiece out, but then also proceeded to punch a man with a helmet on, which I will never fucking understand. I will never understand why people punch another human when they are wearing a helmet. It has never worked, not once in the history of Everdom, has someone been knocked out.
Yeah. Yeah,
But at least they like throw their gloves off. Like,
yeah.
they'll throw their gloves off, the helmet may come off.
Mhm.
But I mean, these idiots will walk up to a person with the helmet on and play. And that's why I guess when he hit him the first time, he was just like, what's happening right now? And looking at the referee, and then he hit him a second time. And then that's when Jenkins kind of jumped on his back there.
Yeah, that was awesome. And I love that little
But it was, it was,
Spider-Man move at the end. I got a kick out of
yeah,
all these fights, especially that fight. I got a kick out of just him watching the yards pile up as he went as Wins went fucking ham. Like just sitting there watching the yards pile up.
so,
Keep going, punch me
such a
more times in the
stupid
helmet.
move. Yeah, exactly. It's such a stupid move. It's so
Yeah.
selfish. It's stupid. And I understand that, like, sometimes you get away from it, it'll get away from you in the moment. But like he went and searched this out.
Yeah.
Like he waited for the play to be over, then went after this dude, and like he knew what he was doing.
Mhm,
He just didn't give a. And that's probably part of the problem with this Bears team as to why they're basically spiraling. I don't like Ross says that they're one of the best teams. I don't think that they are. I think their record's a fraud, and I think that they're a fraud. But yes, their defense is phenomenal, obviously, that we saw. But that offense is just so garbage that, I mean, they're just going to keep spiraling and getting worse. The defense can only do so much. You're going to tire them out.
Can I ask a question? I want to find Michael Thomas continues to
Let me
frustrate
ask
me
you
in
something.
fantasy. Hang on a second. Michael Thomas continues to frustrate me in fantasy because I'll pop him once in a while in the middle of and then I'll fucking not pay attention to my draft for like 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden he's not playing because he's hurt, not playing because he punched someone in the face in the locker room, not playing because his coach's decision. He continues to brutalize me. And what is his fucking problem? Is he going to play? Where is he? What's up with Michael Thomas?
Yeah, well, he should be back, but he said, he came off of this ankle injury, and then I guess he probably pushed it. First of all, the punch in the face, the suspension, apparently they just kind of used that as an excuse to keep him off the field because he also didn't think that he was ready. But and they're also cool, the same guy got in a fight, CD Deuce, so they see each other every day. They seem to be cool about it, but I think he'll be back. He had a little bit of a setback, probably pulled his hamstring, probably going a little too hard at practice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he should be back. He should be back. I hope he's back. I mean, Jesus, man, it's kind of rough going about these games without, probably the best wide receiver in the league and also a number 2 guy that we finally got. But I don't know, stick it out, man. Just make it to the playoffs, and you should be good. They'll come back with a vengeance.
Yeah, and then a huge game this week, obviously, against the Buccaneers too. So
yeah,
love to have him back for that.
This weekend.
But yeah, let me ask you a question though, both of you guys. If and granted, look, Russell Wilson's going ape shit. Not arguing that they're 6-1, but the Saints are 5-2. Is
4-2?
If
right?
No, 5-2. If Alvin Kamara ends up with something like 2,100 total yards, 2,200 total yards, and a boatload of touchdowns, and we end up at 13-3 again. Why is he not getting talked about more as an MVP? Like, you're just like they've just handed it to Russell Wilson already. They've said like, here, you're going to be the MVP this year. Almost like I mean, he's having a great year, but like what Kamara is doing is absurd.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Man, I guess mainly because he's a running back and it's a quarterback. It's essentially a pass, driven league nowadays. But I mean, Kamara's catching passes, so it's just, I don't know. They love their quarterbacks. I guess if he keeps this up, the later that this goes into the year, then maybe he'll enter the conversation a little bit more. But I mean, the way Russell's playing right now, man. I mean, what's he got? He's got close. He's almost got 30 touchdowns, I believe, already.
Yeah, he's like, I think he said he's one off of the record.
Mm-hmm. Like
for how many touchdowns through so many games. Yeah.
I think too. You look at the history, specifically the value at the quarterback position as opposed to the running back position, right? And it's just you don't pay a running back $25 million a year. You just don't, because it's not, and maybe it's Bill Belichick's fault. I just don't think a running back, unless Alvin Kamara obliterates a couple of records along the way, or a running back does something that no one's ever seen or heard of before in the history of the game. there's no weight on like the weight in the fulcrum is very different as opposed to who you're going to consider for an MVP at the end of the season, depending on who had the better result or statistically who had the better season, right? And at that position, like that impact position, and you know how important that position is every year at the draft, right? Like every single year, and you can see it with different teams
Yeah,
trying to piece
yeah, and I
it
think
together.
the last non-QB I think was that Adrian Peterson year in like 2012, 2013, whatever it was when he rushed for 2,100 yards. So I mean, you've got to go pretty nuts. But I mean, he's on a crazy pace right now. So I don't know. Russell Wilson
Yeah,
definitely would be the MVP if it ended right now. But I hate that Kamara's name doesn't even get mentioned in the like conversation.
what's weird to think about too, because I mean, like even in that AP year, it was just him rushing. Like these guys that
Hmm.
do the, I guess you can kind of say like dual threat kind of guys who catch the ball and run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't really get talked about that much because they want to focus on one stat. You know, it's either passing yards and touchdowns or rushing yards and touchdowns or receptions, receiving yards and touchdowns. So when you split it up, people don't take that yards from scrimmage stuff too much to heart, like
Yeah.
they should. You know, it's like they'll look at the one stat and it's like, oh, well, he only rushed for 800 yards. It's like, yeah, but he caught 800 yards also.
Hmm.
You know, like people don't think about that. And then you think about just Russ, and he's just so good.
Yeah.
I wonder how much we'd have to trade to get him.
You just want him. You just want his shit. I don't want. I like Russell, dude. I
would take him in a
it's. I don't know what the difference is between Russell Wilson this year. Is he just getting more time to throw the football? Is he just a happier individual? Is he married to the hottest woman on the planet? What does he have going for him like this year that he didn't have going for him the last few years where, he'd have a couple of games like this. And by the way, you can't write Patrick Mahomes off. And I know it's the Jets, but he put up 50 big fantasy points yesterday, and he was huge again yesterday too.
Well, the thing about Russ is that, I mean, he has to do it this year. He has no defense. He doesn't really have much of a running game since Carson went out, and you got Carlos Hyde. I mean, he almost, it's like he has to do this. And I don't think it's anything that's changed. I think it's always been there, but it's forcing his hand now, and he's just playing lights out.
Well, the offensive line plays improved, and he's got DK Metcalf in year two. I mean, DK Metcalf is turning himself into one of the, one of the top tier wide receivers in the game that he hadn't had the last few years. So, I mean, he's got more weapons, I think, to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, him and Lockett used to have a pretty good connection, but yeah, no, just DK Metcalf coming on is huge. It's always good to have two receivers.
Yeah, I took him.
Well, while we're talking about the Saints,
yeah,
good call.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Juice's 3 picks again. If you just keep riding with that guy, you're going to keep making money. He took his only loss actually yesterday was Bills Mafia -4. They didn't cut. That's a tough one. Bills win, don't cover. That always hurts when that happens. But he had the over in the Saints game, which hit, and he took the Eagles because the Cowboys are just an absolute dumpster fire. So he took the Eagles and he hit the Saints over, and he lost by just one measly point in that Bills game. But keep riding with Juice. You're going to keep making money.
You know what? Was that his dog that made the last pick, Pokey the dog? Was that his dog or was that your dog? Whose dog made that pick, the Bills Mafia pick?
No, that is one of his dogs.
Yeah. So
lucky dog.
His dog went 2-1, but he was terrific yesterday again. I didn't see a video from him, Juice's picks. I know did he get pounded by the hurricane? Has he just been all over the place? Because I usually set my clock by Juice's picks because he's been that fucking good, and I'm not kidding it.
Yeah, no, they didn't. It just a lot of people. He hasn't had internet now. He still doesn't actually, as of today, have internet. So you know how it is. Polls get knocked down. He's got power, no internet. So we're making it work.
What would you rather have?
Yeah, no, he's doing well.
Would you rather have no power, or no internet?
Ooh, well, internet's powered by the power, so
no. You can pick one. You can pick one. You can.
I think no.
You can pick one.
That's really tough because I had saved a couple movies and stuff when the power. I think I'm gonna go power. I can go no internet. I'll go power. Just because if it's cold in here, that was a really miserable night.
Hoffner?
Yeah, I had some stuff saved up too. I guess Nuts to the fire. Yeah, power. I have to
Internet,
go power here.
internet or food?
Internet,
Internet's
all right.
Internet or food?
I'm a fat guy. Food. That's easy. That was easy.
Ross, internet or food?
Man, that's really tough.
Oh, fuck you. Put a steak in front of him. See what he says.
Food. Fine. I'll take the food.
Yeah,
That's
fine.
a tough call. That's a tough call because it depends on how long you're out, right? Like if you're talking 24 hours.
What would you? Yeah, okay. Let's put a time limit on it. What would you live for, like without for 48 hours, a whole weekend? Would you rather go without food or internet? Just one answer. Ross, food or internet?
48's tough. I gotta go. Food.
Food. Okay. Offner.
I'll go with. See, on this one, on this one, I'll go with internet because I got enough stored up here I can last the whole weekend.
Okay.
I don't have a reserve.
Food or booze? Food or booze? Hurricane preparedness. 48 hours. Food or booze?
Yeah, booze is number one.
Okay.
I think you've got it. You got to go booze number one because if you're sitting here and things start to get a little nervous, like I mentioned, I could see my windows kind of flexing in and out. So shit starts to get a little nervous. Nobody's like, let me go grab a bag of Doritos. No. No, you're going for the hard stuff. You're going grab a beer and saying, hey, we're going to ride this bad boy out.
Yeah.
I need something to ease the nerves.
Offner?
I actually quit drinking. So I guess I'm going to have to go with food for now.
Did you quit drinking recently?
Thank
Was
you.
that a recent
Thank you.
thing?
Thank you.
Was that a recent thing? Is that like a?
Well, remember that conversation?
This morning.
We had?
Yeah.
No.
This morning.
No, fuck you.
I'm kidding.
Remember that conversation we had where you were telling me about how you stopped drinking because your liver was hurting or something?
Yeah. I started getting like liver spots.
Dean?
Yeah. You got it.
Yeah, well, like I noticed. I mean, I still have to go honestly get it checked out by a doctor. But like I had like this acute pain right above my kidney. And so like I stopped drinking and I stopped taking 1-a-day vitamins and it went away.
Weird, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
We're back on track here. Yeah. It's weird. I mean, I'm still gonna go get it checked out, but I think I saved myself here. But
dude,
yeah. So I guess I'd have to go with food.
Congratulations! I'm really proud of you. That's a
good for
Thanks,
you,
man.
Offner.
Thanks.
And by the way,
It's been a couple of weeks.
And so I scared you by just saying, "Oh, you got the liver quiver," because that's what you got to be careful of. When you get the liver quiver, that's when you want to dial it back. It's not that you can't get back into it. So I would say stay away from phrases like "I quit drinking." I would just say I'm taking a knee. Because if you don't mentally feel like you want to quit drinking and it doesn't change who you are, then don't. I would just say I'm taking a fucking knee because I got the liver quiver. Dude, that's awesome. That's your body saying. That's your body saying, "Hey, bro, hey, you need me. You need me." So that's just.
Oh yeah, no. I get it. And like I said, I stopped drinking and I stopped taking those 1-a-day vitamins, which apparently aren't that great for you, and I've been feeling pretty good. So trying that out. But yeah, food. But I mean, also I've just kind of substituted it with other things.
Pot?
Halloween is the
old devil lettuce. Is the devil's lettuce?
The devil's lettuce. Yes, it's totally legal up here. It's like they sell it on street corners everywhere. You can actually literally get it ordered to your house.
You lucky.
They'll just bring it to
God, y'all are so lucky.
They'll just like
Uber that. You can like Uber Eats that shit.
You could, yeah, dude. You can Uber Eats pot up here. You can literally Uber have like delivery services bring you cannabis up here if you want. And
it's a game changer.
Here's the game changer. There are some smart people in this industry that wanna be able to enjoy the taste. That want to be able to enjoy the taste of an ale beverage and also feel a little funny afterwards, but not get drunk. So be on the lookout for something fun from us. Can't say anything else. But,
Hello.
But yeah.
Oh, okay.
If I was an emoji right now, if I was gonna emoji this conversation, this would be my emoji.
You do that one, nice.
Yeah, that would be.
Love where this is going.
Yeah. So okay, here's one: Wi-Fi or wife, Ross. 48 hours. Wi-Fi or wife?
What? Wi-Fi. For during a hurricane?
Yeah. Wi-Fi.
Absolutely. Wi-Fi. That's like the easy. That's like the easy. I mean, what? Yeah, that's. I mean, I love her,
Oh,
love her,
she
love her
hears
to
this.
death, but yeah, love her to death. But no. That's an easy choice. She would answer that one for me by
Yeah.
saying
Well,
Wi-Fi.
she fucking better now, I'll tell you that.
That's a no doubter.
Oftener a female or
Yeah.
Wi-Fi? 48 hours.
I have to go with Wi-Fi for 4. If I can make it 48 hours, I'll
Yeah.
live. I'll take the Wi-Fi.
That's
I'll take the
because you got to
Wi-Fi
think.
on that
You
one.
got to think about it. You got to think about it like this.
Also,
Dean. You got no. You potentially got no power.
Mm-hmm.
You got limited food. You probably have booze, which in this case, if you've got the female with you, is a negative. So you've got a hungry, drunk, no power. I mean, you start adding
yeah.
these things up
You
here.
don't
Do
want
you
to
want a
be. You
female
don't
with
want
you
to
for
be.
that?
And you don't want to be a negative influence on a female either, right? You want to have a good relationship. So it's a good thing that
Never.
because you've made a series
Absolutely.
of decisions that have put you at a disadvantage to having a female around. So yeah,
Send them off.
yeah, I would pick the
Send
same
them
thing,
off.
too.
Let them be
Same
safe.
thing.
Safety first.
Guys from Boot Crew Media, that is Stephen Offner, ladies and gentlemen, and Ross Thibodeau at Pro Saints Talk at Boot Crew Media. Our American affiliates from Boot Crew Media down in New Orleans, Louisiana. Congrats on the new coach and Stan Van Gundy. He ought to be entertaining. You're right. Congrats on the big win in Saints Land yesterday. Who Dat Nation pulling it. Who Dat? How do I say that? Very Canadian. Who Dat Nation.
Yeah, you got it. You nailed it.
Not bad. But more importantly, I'm really glad you guys are okay and you weathered, Catherine Zeta-Jones or whatever the fuck that was. It just came through in that massive hurricane. I really am. I'm glad you
Clever.
guys are
That
well.
bitch.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, bud.
So guys, thanks. That was fun too. I like ending it on finding out your value system with a few short questions as well. That was great. Thank you.
Oh,
we're here for.
before we go,
Yeah.
before we go, I will say, if you got the Wi-Fi, you don't really need the wife. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Nope. Fell dead there.
You mean rhymes with
Can do
porn,
better.
rhymes
Yeah.
with Pornhub?
Look, yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
There we go.
Yeah, I get it.
They can't all be home runs, all right?
I got it. And it's only 48 hours, right? We did make that stipulation. Guys, thanks for doing this. Stephen Hoffner, Ross Thibodeau. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Always a pleasure.
Take care.
Later, Bob.
Our boys from Boot Crew Media, please go and check them out, bootcrewmedia.com. Great guys. They got a bunch of great podcasts on that network, including Sportsman Paradise. They've also got a few of our podcasts up on their network as well. So, if you can't get us here, you can get us there. But Pro Saints Talk, Pro Pels Talk, you can get at deanblundell.com. If you're a big Hoops fan, if you're a big NFL fan, if you're a big Saints fan. A lot of Saints fans up here. A lot of people from fucking Saints land that love that fucking team. Love that team. And they do it every week. Every week they give everybody down in Who Dat Nation a little bit of a heart attack too. And then they fucking, we win by 3. Anyway, so thanks to them. And thanks to our friends at Blue Microphones, at Blue Microphones on Twitter. Here's the deal. With Blue Microphones, you get the best microphones on the planet. Fuck, are they ever busy too? We were talking to Joel last week. One of our guys was talking to him. Was like, yeah, you better get your order in. So you better get your order in. Blue Microphones, the best broadcast podcast microphones on the planet, including the USB mic. I'm using the old school Blue Yeti right now, but the Yeti X is incredible. It's the best USB mic in the world for podcasting and broadcasting. Super versatile. The sound is unbelievable. It's got a compression unit built into the microphone as well. It's incredible. So that's what we use, and Blue Microphones are the official microphone of the DeanBlundell.com network, including our friends over at Boot Crew as well. And right now, enter the Show Us Your Pod contest. It's a fucking great contest. We got a ton of great entries. Going to actually feature some of them on the podcast over the next couple of days, which will be great. I like doing that. I like talking to people. Not for long periods of time. Like, I don't want to get into like a 3-hour dissertation on the weather. So like 3 hours I'm good with, but it's got to fucking mean something. You know what I mean? I got to get somewhere in that conversation. I can't just like go, oh yeah, so tell me about your family for 3 hours. I can't. That's just not in me. And it's not because I like don't want to know about people. It's just I don't want to know those things about people. You know what I mean? So tell me, where do you work? What have you been doing? How are things? I'm not interested in those. It's not even a fucking conversation. I mean, you know what that is? An icebreaker. I'm more interested in stuff like, so, divorced, huh? How'd that go? I just heard you were divorced. So I came over here to talk to you because I'm interested in that whole situation. Yeah, I invented a brand new car that runs on water too. I don't care about that. I want to know about the divorce. Is that weird? I think it's weird. I'm weird. Thanks to our friends at Owner's Box. Owner's Box Fantasy Sports, the premier weekly fantasy sports platform. Go check them out, by the way, by going to deanblundell.com. Sign up for your account right now. They'll give you up to a $50 match deposit, and you verify your account. You get an extra $5 in real dough. Super easy. I'm going to verify my account here. We just did the Sunday Surge yesterday, too. And then we recorded like the entire fucking day, which was absolutely incredible. We went down to Owner's Box. We recorded a big watch party. We're going to do some stuff with them. They're going to do some stuff with us. You're going to be part of the watch party. We're going to watch some football. We're going to play some fantasy sports, but you can't unless you have an account. Totally free of charge to do that too. So go to ownersbox.com right now and get your account free. Then you want to put money on your account? Put money on your account. They'll match up to $50 right now. Owner's Box Fantasy Sports. Follow them right now at Owner's Box on Twitter. And do your fantasies with me. You can do your own fantasy league. You can do custom stuff. You can do 2-man, 8-man, 4-man, 16-man. We did a couple 8-man MVPs this weekend. Got creamed. Took Carson Wentz like an idiot. Just a stupid move. I only did it because they played the Cowboys. But I wanted to be different. Don't be different. Follow the rules. Owner's Box Fantasy Sports. Weekly fantasy sports. Done right. Great payouts, too. They pay out all the time. And thanks to Ed at Ed's Fine Imports. He's got Gitch. In fact, he's got a whole bunch of different colors of Gitch, too, including this snazzy red pair. Comes in this box. If you order 3 of them, he'll send you another pair for free if you use promo code GITCH3. Gitch in the number 3. There you go. Look at that. Wah, 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 wah. What's this, you say? It's like an armored car for your dick and balls. Yeah, it goes right in this little pouch. See that? It's unbelievable. It's a comfy armored car, too. Like if armored cars were made out of down on the inside. Anyway, so your stuff goes in there, and you wear these all day long. Super stretchy, super comfortable. Gitch from edsfineimports.com. Order them today. Promo code GITCH3. If you order 3 pairs, you get 4 for free. I don't even know what color these are. These are rust colored. These rust colored ones. We're doing an unboxing. Orange. Be good if I had some major orangey malfunction back there. I'm a big fan of the camouflage underwear, by the way. These would have been great yesterday. Just me handing out candy and those. Get arrested. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching the podcast. Thanks to Owner's Box. Thanks to Edge. Thanks to Blue Microphones. Join us at deanblundell.com. Sign up for the newsletter or experience one of our now 26 different podcasts, part of the deanblundell.com podcast network. Done. Bye.